Hey, this is Kingsley. Welcome to my channel. And I am driving as I'm doing this video because a lot of times I may be on the road heading to the appointment. Now, in this channel, you're just going to get my thoughts about real estate, life, prosperity, and just life. In business, I am a business owner. I'm a husband. I am a father, dog owner. I am so many things wrapped into one individual. But the one thing is, I believe that everybody should prosper in all areas of their life. So this video I'm going to title The Greatest Enemy, because a lot of times I've looked in the mirror and the greatest enemy has always been me. And what made me think about that is that a lot of times when I'm going through something, I forget about certain things. There was this time at the end of 2023 where, a lot of my businesses are profit models, which I've had to kind of switch into cash flow models. But before I even thought about doing that, I would go through months where I would get big lump sums. But the problem with only making profit is that your expenses never change monthly, despite you may not make the same amount that month. And it was a time where I dipped into my stock accounts to pull to cover for that month's expense. It happened like 2 months for last year, and I was like, hey, God, like, what's going on? I feel like I was doing all the right things. And what ended up happening, it was funny that, I pulled an amount to cover my expense for that month, and then suddenly the stocks would go up above more than what I pulled out, and I can get more stocks, and then I can pull out for another month. It did about, I think, twice at the end of 2023, towards the end. And it made me think about how many times I forgot that God's come through in my life. How many times I forgot that every time I needed something at that most crucial time, He always came through. And a lot of times I forget that because I am focusing on the situation but not focusing on my source. And for many of us, I think we struggle with that. I think we struggle with knowing who our source is. I didn't make the stock go up, but at the right time I needed it, it did the exact same thing twice. And the older I get, the more I understand that I'm not in control. If Proverbs says is that lean not into my own understanding, but trust in all His ways, then I have to remember that. So when I'm thinking about who's the greatest enemy can be us sometimes. When we look in the mirror and we are leaning into our doubts rather than leaning into our faith about what can happen despite what's going on currently. Does it mean that immediately it happens like that? No, because each time, each situation is going to be different. You're not going to be blessed the same way. That's just not how life works. It's going to come in different shapes and forms because we can't put God in a routine. We can't put God in a type of box. So don't just remember all the failures, but remember when He did came through. Remember when you were going through something and you overcame. Remember when you needed that money and somebody called you and said, hey, I know you need help. Let me give you this. Or remember when you needed that sale. When you know that if you didn't make that sale, something had to come through, and somebody told you no on that phone call, and then you got a phone call as a referral or something, and it was more than what you expected. So don't just be one of your greatest enemies. Be your greatest friend in changing your mindset, and always continually to keep your eyes on the source and believing. That is what it means to be an overcomer. That's what it means to have faith. Faith is just not waiting and seeing. Faith is that in the action of me doing, I'm still believing that it's going to come. So just keep that in mind. And until next time.